Hello students, welcome you all to my sixth video on the chapter solutions, right? In the previous video, we discussed something about vapor pressure of liquid in liquid solutions, and that we discussed something about Raoult's law of yes, it is volatile liquid solutions, right? And we'll see that problems on that particular Raoult's law, okay, na? Problems on volatile liquid in liquid type solutions. Look at the first problem here. Vapor pressure of chloroform and dichloromethane. Vapor pressure of CHCl3 and CH2Cl2 at 298 kelvins or 200 millimeters of mercury and 415 millimeters of mercury respectively. Calculate vapor pressure of solution prepared by mixing 25 grams of chloroform and 40 grams of dichloromethane at 298 kelvins, and also calculate mole fraction of each component in vapor phase. This is the problem. Yes, and you are supposed to calculate two. Yes, it is values here. One, it is the vapor pressure of the solution first, and then it is mole fraction of each component in vapor phase. We'll see first one, that is vapor pressure of solution, that is vapor pressure of solution, that is total vapor pressure is equal to, yes, it is XA into, yes, it is P naught A plus XB into P naught B. You know this. And if you want to calculate vapor pressure of solution, that is total vapor pressure of solution, you need to know the mole fraction of the component A and the mole fraction of component B. Let me take chloroform as A and dichloromethane as B. Chloroform anna A anta tagotini, dichloromethane anna B anta tagotini. Yes, here P naught A is given. Vapor pressure of pure chloroform is given, that is equal to 200 millimeters of mercury. That is 200 millimeters of mercury. Vapor pressure of pure component of dichloromethane, that is P naught B, is given, and that comes out to be 415 millimeters of mercury. The millimeters of mercury is a unit of expressing pressure there. Yes, and then it is you are supposed to calculate XA, that's equal to Na divided by Na plus Nb, right? That's equal to Na plus Nb. And as far as Na is concerned, right? Na is concerned, that is mass of A divided by molecular mass of A, right? Na is equal to mass of A divided by molecular mass of A. And of course, as far as that is Na is concerned, right? That is mass of A, that is Wa, that is equal to, that is mass of A and the chloroform. Mass of chloroform is 25.5 grams. 25.5 grams. Mass of B is what we call it as, it will be 40 grams. That is 40 grams of dichloromethane, and of course the molecular mass of A, that is chloroform CHCl3, because number of moles of A is equal to mass of A divided by molecular mass of A. And as far as chloroform is concerned, right, CHCl3 tagondre, CHCl3, right, carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1, and of course 3 into 35.5, yes, 3 into 35.5, 3 into 35.5 estaಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, 71 plus 35.5 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is 106.5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 106.5, that is 107.5, yes, and of course it will be 119.5, that is molecular mass of chloroform, that is 119.5 is the molecular mass of chloroform, that is gram per mole. Yes, substitute here. Mass of A is 25.5 divided by molecular mass is 119.5, and of course simplify this, it comes out to be, right, 25.5 divided by 119.5, it comes out to be 0.2133. 0.2133. This is what we call it as number of moles of chloroform, right? Now go for the number of moles of dichloromethane. Yes, we'll go for the number of moles of dichloromethane. Yes, that is number of moles of dichloromethane is mass of B divided by molecular mass of B, right? Mass of B is given 40 grams. What is the molecular mass of dichloromethane andre? That is CH2Cl2, right? Carbon 12 plus 2 14. Plus that is 71. It comes out to be estaಗುತ್ತೆ. That is 85 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It is 85 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It comes out to be 40 by 85. What is that number of moles of dichloromethane? Yes, it is 40 divided by 85. It comes out to be 0.4705. 0.4705. This is number of moles of, yes, it is dichloromethane. Now, and of course, I want mole fraction of A alva. Mole fraction of A is equal to Na divided by Na plus Nb. Avadalva? Na estiದೆ ನೋಡಿ. Yes, it is 0.2133 divided by 0.2133 plus Nb estiದೆ 0.4705. ಹೌದಾ? So it comes out to be right plus 0.4705, it comes out to be 0.6838, that is XA is equal to 0.2133 divided by 0.6838. We divide ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, that is 0.2133 divided by 0.6838, it comes out to be 0.3119. This is what we call it as mole fraction of A. If you know the mole fraction of A, you can decide the mole fraction of B. That is, mole fraction of B is equal to 1 minus XA, because sum of the mole fractions of all the component in the solution is always equal to 1. That is 1 minus 0.3119. It comes out to be, yes, it will be 0.688. Yes, it is 0. This is what we call it as mole fraction. It comes out to be XB there. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? XA ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ XB ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಹೌದಾ? If you know the XA and XB values, you can decide the, yes, it is total, yes, it is vapor pressure of the solution. That is P total is equal to, yes, P total is equal to ನೋಡಿ. Okay na? Now I'll go for the P total there. That is equal to XA into P naught A plus XB into P naught B. ಹೌದಾ? ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. XA ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? That is 0.3119 into P naught A ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ? 200. Yes, that is 200 plus 0.688. ಹೌದಾ? XB ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 0.6880. P naught B ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ? 415 into 415. Yes, it is add ಮಾಡಿ total vapor pressure ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, right? Into, yes, it is 0.3119 into 200. It comes out to be 62.38 plus, yes, 0.688 into 415. It comes out to be 285.52, and of course add ಮಾಡಿ 62.38, it will be 347.9, and that is vapor pressure of the solution. That is in terms of millimeters of mercury, right? In terms of millimeters of mercury, that is the vapor pressure of the solution prepared by mixing 25.5 grams of chloroform and 40 grams of dichloromethane would be, yes, it is 347.9 ಅಂತ ಬಂತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಹೌದಾ? Yes. Mole fraction of the each component in vapor phase. ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ನನಗೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I'll go for the second answer ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. That is second question ಇಂದ ನೋಡಿ. Calculate the mole fraction of each component in the vapor phase ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? We'll see that, right? Note it down, right? Not ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಲ್ಲ? Yes. I'll go for the next one. Second question, that is calculate the mole fraction of each component in vapor phase. Calculate mole fraction of each component in vapor phase, right? That is second question here. That is YA, mole fraction of each component in vapor phase is equal to, that is you know that PA divided by, yes, it is PA plus PB ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಹೌದಾ? That's equal to PA divided by, yes, it is P total, right? PA divided by P total. Already you P total ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, that is 347.9 millimeters of mercury ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. You should calculate PA there. That's equal to P naught A into XA. ಹೌದಾ? P naught A into XA. P naught A ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 200 A ಇದೆ. And of course ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ? It is XA ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ 0.3119. You already calculated. XA calculate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೌದಾ? ನೋಡಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು ನೋಡಿ 62.38 ಬಂತು. This is what we call it as PA. This is what we call it as PA in terms of millimeters of mercury. ಹೌದಾ? Now at this moment I'll go for the calculating YA there, that is YA is equal to, yes, PA is how much? 62.38 divided by total vapor pressure is 347.9, and of course divide body, that is 62.38 divided by 347.9. It comes out to be 0.1793. This is what we call it as yes, it is a mole fraction of the component in vapor phase. What is YB? That's equal to 1 minus YA. Sum of the mole fractions of all the component in the solution is always equal to 1. That's equal to 1 minus 1793, right? And of course it is minus 1 it is. It comes out to 0. Yes, it is 82. Yes, it is 0. Yes, it is 7. This is what we call it as yes, it is mole fraction of the second component in vapor phase. A for chloroform, B for dichloromethane. So this is what we call it as calculation of yes, it is total vapor pressure of the solution, and of course mole fraction of each component in vapor phase. Agboudalla? Yes, note it down. Now look at the second problem under the vapor pressure of liquid in liquid type solutions based on the Reynolds law. Vapor pressure of liquids A and B are 450 and 750 millimeters of mercury respectively. And vapor pressure of A is 450 millimeters of mercury and B is 750 millimeters of mercury at 350 kelvins. Find out composition of liquid mixture. Then you are supposed to calculate XA and XB, mole fraction of the components in solution. If the total vapor pressure of solution is 600 millimeters of mercury, right? You will find out composition in vapor phase also. And they have given total vapor pressure of the solution, and you are supposed to calculate mole fractions of the each component, yes, XA and XB in solution, and also you have to calculate their composition in vapor phase, that is mole fraction in vapor phase. YA and YB you are supposed to calculate, yes. I'll go for it. Yes, it is you know that yes, we know that, right? Okay, now that is P total is equal to, right? In the previous class we solved this P naught A plus XB into P naught B minus P naught A. This is the problem, that is this is the discussion that we had in the previous class, right? Total vapor pressure is equal to vapor pressure of pure component of A, and of course plus XB into P naught B minus yes, it is P naught A. And of course P total is given. Vapor pressure of solution is given 600 millimeters of mercury, right? And vapor pressure of pure components A ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. A ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 450 millimeters of mercury, yes. And vapor pressure of pure component P ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು? 750 millimeters of mercury. These are the three informations given. On the basis of that, I can calculate XB. On the basis of that, I can calculate XB. That is, P total is 600 is equal to P naught A is 450 plus, I supposed to calculate XB, right? Into P naught B is 750 minus P naught A is 450, yes. Okay, na? And of course, you know, simplify 600 is equal to 450 plus and into XB into the subtract you will get 300, yes, you will get 300, and therefore XB is equal to, right, XB is equal to, yes, it is 600 minus 450 it will be around, yes, it is 150 divided by, yes, it is 300 right? And it will be, yes, it is 1 by 2 and of course 0.5, right? If XB is equal to 0.5, XA is also 0.5, is it not? Because XA is equal to 1 minus XB, that comes out to be 1 minus 0.5 and that is equal to 0.5. Therefore, XB is 0.5, XA is also 0.5 and of course you calculated XB and XA calculate more than anyone. If I know that, I can decide PA and PB now, right? Therefore, PA is equal to P naught A into XA, right? PA is equal to P naught A into XA, that's equal to P naught A is there. P naught A is 450, right? 450 into 0.5 and it comes out to be around 225 agata. That is 225 millimeters of mercury agata. Yes. What about PB and agata? That's equal to P naught B into XB according to Raoult's law. P naught B is how much? It will be 750 there into 0.5 and it comes out to be 375 millimeters of mercury, right? 375 millimeters of mercury. Now you got PA gottide. Yes, it is PB gottide. Now you can calculate mole fractions in vapor phase. Therefore, mole fraction in vapor phase. Mole fractions in vapor phase. That is YA is equal to PA divided by, yes it is PA plus PB. Avada? PA estide nodi. You know PA you calculated, that is 225. Yes it is 225 divided by 225 plus, yes it is PB estide 375, right? 375 and you decide it. Yes it is 225 divided by 225 plus 375 for 600 agate, right? Yes it is. It comes up with 0.375. That's a mole fraction of the component A in vapor phase. What is the mole fraction of the component B in the, yes it is vapor phase, that is 1 minus YA. 1 minus 0.375 and it comes out to be 0.625. So that is what we call it as mole fraction of the second component in, yes it is vapor phase. Agboda, right? So this is what we call it as calculation of mole fractions, right? Note it down and we'll see the next discussion, right? Okay friends, so with those calculations, we'll go for the next topic, that is vapor pressure of the solutions prepared by mixing non-volatile solute and liquid. Okay, na? Vapor pressure of a solution prepared by mixing non-volatile solute in solvent. Athwa vapor pressure of the solutions prepared by mixing solid in liquid type solutions. Solid in liquid type solutions. Okay, that is vapor pressure of yes it is solid in liquid type solution. Liquids. But here in this case, one is a solid, another is a liquid. Solid is, that is non-volatile. It cannot be vaporized easily. Solid is non-volatile and it cannot be easily vaporized. For example, if I add sugar to water, sugar is a solid, it will be soluble in water, but its vapor pressure at a given set of conditions is 0 because it doesn't contribute to the vapor pressure of a solution because it is a non-volatile solid. Yes, solids will not be vaporized, whereas liquids can be vaporized. Therefore, if I mix two volatile liquids, if I prepare a solution by mixing two volatile liquids, both will be evaporating and both will be contributing to the vapor pressure of the solution, is it not? But here, in the case of solution prepared by mixing non-volatile solute in liquid, your contribution of the non-volatile solute to the vapor pressure of solution is 0 there. Contribution of the non-volatile solute to the vapor pressure of solution is 0 there. Just imagine one beaker, right? Imagine beaker containing water, yes. And of course, this is a beaker containing water, yes. And of course, you'll find the water molecules above the surface of a liquid, yes. This is water molecule, surface of water. Above the surface of water, you'll find the water molecules and these water molecules will contribute to the vapor pressure of water. Yes, this is water vapor and it will be liquid water. This is liquid water. Yes, this is liquid water and this is what we call it as water vapor. Howda? This vapor will contribute to the, yes, it is vapor pressure of that. I mean, water is associated with vapors above the surface of it, and therefore these vapors will exert certain pressure, and that is called as vapor pressure at equilibrium. Is it not? To this water, if I add a non-volatile solute like sugar or sodium chloride or urea, to that water, if I add, yes, it is non-volatile solute like sugar or urea. Now, in the case of water, the surface is characterized by only water molecules. But if I add, yes, it is sugar to water. If I add sugar to water, some of the sugar particles will occupy the surface of a water. Some of the sugar particles will occupy the surface of a water. Yes. Nodi. Thick dots are sugar particles, circles are water molecules. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ circles ಇದೆ. ಹೌದಾ, ಬರೀ water molecules. ಇಲ್ಲಿ surface ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have sugar particles as well as water molecules. Now what happened now? Due to the addition of sugar particles are covering, they are occupying the surface of water. Once the sugar particles are occupying the surface of water, escape of water molecules into the vapor phase decreases, and thereby amount of water molecules on the surface of water will be decreased. ಎಷ್ಟು water vapor ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತು. Because the added sugar particles, they are non-volatile. They are going to cover the surface of water, and that results in decrease in, yes, it is vapor pressure of water due to the, yes, it is presence of sugar particles at the surface of liquid. ಹೌದಾ, sugar particles are at the surface as well as in the solution. ಹೌದಾ, solution ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾವೆ, surface ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಶುಗರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, that the possibility of escape of water molecules into the vapor phase decreases. The possibility of escape of water molecules into the vapor phase decreases. Illi no sugar particles and more water molecules will be escaped into the, yes, it is the vapor phase, and more vapor is there here. Therefore, vapor pressure of water, yes, it is vapor pressure of water, yes, it is always greater than vapor pressure of solution prepared by mixing sugar in water, or prepared by mixing non-volatile solute in solvent. Or you can say vapor pressure of solution is always less than vapor pressure of pure solvent, because in solution the surface of liquid is covered by non-volatile solute particles which prevent escape of solvent molecules to enter into vapor phase, and thereby amount of vapor on the surface of liquid decreases, and therefore vapor pressure of solution decreases. And therefore, as far as the total, that is vapor pressure of solution is concerned, vapor pressure of solute plus vapor pressure of solvent ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೌಲ್ಸ್ ಲಾ. ಹೌದಾ, ಪಿ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪಿ ವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಎ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟಲ್, ಬಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of solvent itself, because the vapor pressure of non-volatile solute is 0. Vapor pressure of non-volatile solute is 0. Andre in the case of yes, it is volatile liquids along ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ A plus B ಇತ್ತು. ಹೌದಾ, volatile liquids A and B ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ವೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ A ನೂ ಇತ್ತು, ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ B ಇತ್ತು. Both are contributing to the total vapor pressure of the solution. But here in the case of non-volatile solute in liquid, we don't find any, yes, it is solute particles on the surface of liquid, over the surface of liquid. We find only solvent molecules. Therefore, the contribution of the solute particles to the vapor pressure of solution is taken as 0. Therefore, in the case of solutions prepared by mixing non-volatile solute in liquid, the total vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of solvent itself. Total vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of solvent itself. Therefore, according to Raoult's law, in any solution, okay na, the vapor pressure of the volatile component in solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution. That is P1 is proportional to X1, or you can say that P1 is equal to P01 into X1, and this is what we call it as yes, it is Raoult's law as we studied, right? Okay na? Yes, right? Okay na? Solutions, and same discussion will be discussed, in the forthcoming discussions like colligative properties. I'll make use of this particular discussion in colligative properties also. That's why you just remember this particular aspect, and we'll make use of this particular aspect in the forthcoming discussions. So with that, we'll go for the next and very important discussion as far as your annual examination is concerned, that is ideal and non-ideal solutions, right? Let's do that. Okay now? Right. Now with that, we'll come to the next and the very important discussion of the chapter, that is ideal and non-ideal solutions. Very important discussion as far as your annual examination is concerned. You can expect 2 mark question from this particular discussion, right? And this classification of solution is on the basis of whether the solutions follow Raoult's law or not. Whether the liquid solutions follow Raoult's law or not. On the basis of that, the solutions can be classified into ideal and non-ideal solutions, right? Okay now? And as far as ideal solutions are concerned, look at this. As far as ideal solutions are concerned, these are the solutions. These are the solutions which follow Raoult's law, that is P total is equal to, yes, it is PA plus PB, right? P total is equal to PA plus the PB, or you can say, in the case of ideal solutions, PA is equal to P naught A into XA, or you can say that PB is equal to P naught B into XB, and this is what we call it as, yes, it is Raoult's law. In the case of ideal solutions, the total vapor pressure of the solution, and that is exactly equal to the total vapor pressure as we calculated from the Raoult's law. Athwa experimentally determined vapor pressure of a solution is equal to the total vapor pressure of solution as we calculated from Raoult's law. That is P total is equal to PA plus PB, and of course PA is equal to P naught A into XA, or PB is equal to P naught B into PB XB. This is what we call it as Raoult's law. Ideal solutions are those solutions which follow Raoult's law of vapor pressure under all conditions of temperature and concentrations, and that is called as, yes, it is Raoult's law. Ideal solutions. In the case of ideal solutions, experimentally determined vapor pressure of solution is equal to the total vapor pressure of solution as we calculated from, yes, it is Raoult's law. So that is what we call it as ideal solutions. And in the case of ideal solutions, that is enthalpy of mixing is equal to 0. Enthalpy of mixing is equal to 0. That is, if I consider 2 liquids, say for example liquid A and liquid B, and equally, yes, when these 2 liquids are mixed, you are going to get solution, right? When these 2 liquids are mixed, you are going to get solution of A and B. And during mixing, no heat will be liberated or no heat will be absorbed. Okay na? When liquids A and B are mixed, and if there is no liberation of heat or no absorption of heat, then that solution is considered to be ideal solutions. In the case of ideal solutions, enthalpy of mixing is 0. That means no heat will be liberated or absorbed when 2 liquids are mixed to form a solution. So that is what we call it as ideal solutions. Apart from that, in the case of ideal solutions, yes, it is volume change. Delta V of mixing is equal to 0. And there will be no change in volume. There will be no change in volume when 2 liquids are mixed in the case of ideal solutions. That means if A and B are forming, if A and B are mixed, if they form ideal solution, then the total volume change is equal to 0. That means there will be no change in volume of a solution. That means, say for example, if I say 10 ml of A, 10 ml of B, yes, I am going to take 10 ml of A and 10 ml of B. Before mixing, what is the volume of solution? 20 ml. Before mixing, total volume of solution is 20 ml. Upon mixing, total volume of solution is also 20 ml. Yes. Mix ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ 20 ml ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Mix ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆನೂ total volume ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 20 ml ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That means there will be no change in total volume of solution before mixing and after mixing. And because of that, these 2 liquids will form ideal solution. That is, in the case of ideal solutions, delta H of mixing is 0 and delta V of mixing is 0, right? That is what we call it as ideal solutions. And apart from that, I'm going to take up, the reason for that. Why delta H of mixing is 0 in the case of ideal solutions. Why delta V of mixing is 0 in the case of ideal solution. I'll discuss that. Okay, now just imagine in the case of it liquid A, for example. Liquid A is characterized by interaction between molecules of A. Liquid A ದಲ್ಲಿ there are interactions between molecules of A. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ water molecule ಅಲ್ಲಿ interactions are there among the water molecules. ಹಾಗೆ in liquid A there are interactions, that is force of attractions are between molecules of A. In liquid B force of attractions are there between molecules of B. ಹೌದಾ? When these two liquids are mixed, the solution is possible if there is an interaction between A and B. Solution is possible if there is an interaction between A and B. If there is no interaction between A and B, you don't get solution. Remember, in the case of ideal solutions, right? AA interactions or BB interactions. AA interactions or BB interactions in two liquids before mixing is equal to AB interactions. Okay, na? Is equal to AB interactions among the molecules in solution after mixing. So that is the reason why delta H of mixing is equal to 0, delta V of mixing is equal to 0. Ideal solutions ali, the force of attractions among the molecules of A and force of attractions among the molecules of B, okay na, they are similar to the force of attractions among the molecules of A and B in the solution. Attractions among the molecules of pure components is equal to force of attractions among the molecules of the solution, and that is what we call it as ideal solutions. Therefore, in the case of ideal solutions, AA interactions or BB interactions are similar to the AB interactions. Because of that, no heat will be liberated during mixing, no volume change during mixing. So that is what we call it as ideal solutions. And for the same reason, ideal solutions do not form azeotropic mixtures. Do not form azeotropic mixtures. And I'll take up that particular discussion later. Okay, na? Ideal solutions do not form azeotropic mixtures. Azeotropes ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. So these are the properties of ideal solutions. So ideal solutions are those solutions which follow Raoult's law of solutions, Raoult's law of vapor pressure under all conditions of concentrations and temperature. Over the entire range of concentrations and temperatures. So that is what we call it as ideal solutions. In the case of ideal solutions, right, that experimentally determined vapor pressure of solution is equal to the total vapor pressure of solutions as we calculated from Raoult's law. And of course, because of that, here in the case of ideal solutions, delta H of mixing or delta V of mixing is 0, because that is in the case of ideal solutions, AA or BB interactions in the pure components of the solution will be similar to the AB interactions among the molecules of these solutions. That's why the ideal solutions, they follow Raoult's law. So these are the properties of ideal solutions. For example, we have a molecules like it is N-hexane plus N-heptane. That is two liquids with almost similarity in their structure will form ideal solutions. If the structural properties are same, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Interactions among the molecules will be same. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ it is N-hexane and N-heptane. Both are having unbranched chain of carbon atoms. Both are hydrocarbons. Therefore, the interactions among the molecules of hexane and interactions among the molecules of heptane, they are similar to the interactions between N-hexane and N-heptane. Because of that, they form ideal solutions. Again, chloroethane, and it has got similarity in their structure with bromoethane. Bromoethane, that will form ideal solution. Chlorobenzene plus bromobenzene, they have got similarity in their structure. Benzene, cyclic ring with benzene ring, and toluene. Toluene is also characterized by benzene ring. They are having similarity in their structure. And these three are the examples for ideal solutions. Give examples for ideal solutions. You should give the mixture of N-heptane and N-hexane, chloroethane and bromoethane, benzene and toluene, athwa bromobenzene and chlorobenzene. This is what we call it as ideal solutions. And as far as non-ideal solutions are concerned, exactly opposite to this. Non-ideal solutions will have exactly opposite properties, right? The properties of non-ideal solutions will be exactly opposite to those of ideal solutions. Non-ideal solutions do not follow Raoult's law of acids vapor pressure. Raoult's law of vapor pressure over the entire range of concentrations and temperature. In the case of non-ideal solutions, the experimentally determined vapor pressure of solution is not equal to the total vapor pressure of solution as we calculate from Raoult's law. P total is not equal to PA plus PB. PA is not equal to P naught A into XA. PB is not equal to P naught B into XB. That is the nature of the ideal solutions. In the case of non-ideal solutions, right? Delta H of mixing is not equal to 0. That means in the case of non-ideal solutions, when two liquids are mixed, heat may be liberated or absorbed. Anything will happen. Either the heat will be liberated or absorbed. That is, delta H of mixing is not equal to 0. And remember, in the case of acids, non-ideal solutions, delta V of mixing is also not equal to 0. That is, the total volume of two liquids before mixing is not equal to the volume of solution after mixing. So, for example, I take 10 ml of A and 10 ml of B. Before mixing, total volume was 20 ml. After mixing, it may be 19.8 or it may be 20.2 ml. Total volume kadamena agbodu, jastina agbodu. That is what we call it as non-ideal solution. Why this is so anta prashna madadaga? Why delta H of mixing not equal to 0? Delta V of mixing not equal to 0? In the case of non-ideal solutions anta prashna madidre, in the case of non-ideal solutions, that is AA interactions or BB interactions among the molecules of pure components will not be equal to the, yes, it is AB interactions among the molecules of solutions. AA or BB interactions are different from AB interactions. That is, A to A interactions or B to B interactions, they are not equal to AB interactions. AB interactions are there in solution. These interactions are different from this. I mean, AA or BB interactions may be less than AB interactions, or AA or BB interactions are greater than AB interactions. So because of that, delta H of mixing is not equal to 0, delta V of mixing is not equal to 0. And of course, non-ideal solutions will form azeotropic mixtures. Non-ideal solutions will form azeotropic mixtures, and this is what we call it as, yes, it is ideal and non-ideal solutions. Okay, now many examples I can give for the non-ideal solutions. That is methyl alcohol plus water. Okay, now ethyl alcohol plus water, athwa ethyl alcohol plus acetone. Okay, na? Athwa HCl in water, sulfuric acid in water, yes, phenol and toluene, chloroform and acetone. They are all examples for non-ideal solutions, right? They are all examples for non-ideal solutions. Okay, na? Okay, na? And ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, in the case of non-ideal solutions, there are two possibilities. That is, delta H of mixing is not equal to 0. It means what? Delta H of mixing may be greater than 0 or it may be less than 0. Delta V of mixing may be greater than 0 or less than 0. Athwa P total may be greater than PA plus PB or P total may be less than PA plus PB. And accordingly, non-ideal solutions are further classified into two types. That is, non-ideal solutions with positive deviation and non-ideal solutions with, yes, it is negative deviation. Is it not? Yes, it is. So that is what we call it as non-ideal solutions, right? Okay. Okay, na? Yes. So this is something about differences between ideal and non-ideal solutions. With that information, we'll take up, in the next video, right? That is the non-ideal solutions with positive deviation and non-ideal solutions with negative deviation with certain examples. Yes, arthaytu ankotini, right? So this is what we call it as ideal and non-ideal solutions. Okay, na? Right? ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನು ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ನಾನ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ವಿ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ, ರೈಟ್? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.